Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, high-speed rail. $186 million in federal funds rejected by the state of Florida will be awarded to Illinois for its Chicago to St. Louis high-speed rail project. The funding will be used to upgrade the track between Dwight and Joliet, and it comes on top of the $1.4 billion in federal money already awarded to Illinois for high-speed rail. Transportation expert and DePaul University professor Joe Schwieterman joined me to talk more about it. So, Joe, other states are rejecting this federal money for high-speed rail, while Illinois seems really gung-ho about it. Are there real benefits here, or is this just a boondoggle, as some critics say?
Well, Illinois has the benefit of taking the gradual approach. We built a market for rail. We went to 5 trains a day to St. Louis. We doubled frequency to Carbondale and Quincy. So the public understands what it is. I think in Wisconsin, Ohio, there was kind of this alien transportation mode that was missold, that people didn't know quite what they were buying. You know, the backlash was fierce.
Is Chicago to St. Louis the best route? I mean, there are some people saying that perhaps this should be something that goes north to Detroit or Minneapolis.
You look at the markets around the country, there's no perfect market. 2 metropolitan areas of 5 million people within that kind of 200 to 300 mile range. But Chicago to St. Louis, Chicago to Twin Cities look quite good because they're both successful metropolitan areas, kind of that sweet spot on distance where you can run a train, in this case under 4 hours. So you start to capture maybe not a lot of corporate travelers, but people on personal business, on conventions. We'll see a pretty big boost in demand when the trains speed up.
And what about the money that we are getting? How is it going to be spent here in Illinois?
You know, a lot of this money, unfortunately, is going to lay the groundwork for the next round of investments. So we have to reconfigure the corridor, build passing tracks, and it's kind of a necessary first step, really, to what may be later on to be, true high-speed rail, much faster down the line.
Sure. Is there a chance that we could get even more federal money here?
There is. Illinois is doing everything right. And the St. Louis money now, we have essentially going to go to 110 all the way south to St. Louis. So apart from that Chicago-Joliet segment, this is going to be on the cutting edge.
And what about that Chicago to Joliet segment? What's happening there? Is there a chance that we're going to see that 110 mile an hour leg happen there?
Chicago's this massively congested railroad hub, and so I think the thought of running 110 into downtown Chicago with freight trains at the density they are is just another project. And I think we'll see some improvements on the Joliet route. That's real political because those cities along there want more metro service. You look at Lockport, for example. So we need sort of a big investment in the terminal district, and that's a whole different political situation.
Some people may look at this too and say, Illinois is broke. Should we be talking about this? What's your response to that?
We're looking at relatively small money. There's some benefits in easing congestion on the highways. We know the problem we have at O'Hare with congestion. And so incremental siphoning traffic off those other systems is always a plus. And you look at the cities midway, Bloomington, Dwight, Springfield, they're massive supporters of this because they need kind of an economic boost.
Okay, Joe, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. You can read more on this story by sticking with chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.